Hello, welcome to the video. So this is going to be just kind of like a chatty, off-the-cuff kind of channel update video. The past few months I haven't really been uploading like I wanted to. I kind of made a goal for myself. I don't think I ever mentioned it on the channel, but I made a goal for myself to upload more regularly and try to like figure out what kind of content I like making in the second half of 2023. And that didn't really happen. I uploaded exactly one long form video in November and one video in December. And I never uploaded a September wrap up. I never uploaded an October wrap up. I filmed them, but I never edited them or uploaded them. And I never even filmed a November or December wrap up. So we're gonna start fresh. So that's where my wrap ups and TBRs are. I started a reader unhaul kind of video series, and I quickly discovered that while I was not reading the books, I also was having trouble letting them go. So my reader unhaul from July to December, I didn't read any of the books, but I also don't want to get rid of them. So I'm gonna try a new kind of read or unhaul format for 2024, and it might end up looking something like Books with Emily Fox's Read It or Unhaul It challenge. She has a big jar of all of her unread owned books, and she just kind of picks from it and reads it or gets rid of it. I'll link her down in the description. I'm sure if you're on BookTube, you know who she is. She's one of the bigger creators. But I'll link her Read It or Unhaul It challenge anyway, just so you can see what I'm talking about. I might do something like that. I might pick like one book a month and just say, hey, this is my reader unhaul book, because I feel like what was happening with that was I was picking all the books and then I wasn't in the mood for them, because I am a mood reader, like more so than I even thought I was. So I need to be in the mood for a book. So I might just go through my books, whatever I'm in the mood for, I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be my reader unhaul book. I don't know. TBD, like it will be coming. I will figure it out. I also saw somebody, I'm so sorry, I don't remember who it was, but they did like a Hunger Games style book reaping to pick their TBR. I could do something like that for unhaul books, where it was like, if you've had the book for a month, it gets one slip of paper in a bowl. 6 months, it gets up to 6 months, it gets 2, over a year, it gets 3, and then you pick them out, and that's how you do it. I think that's kind of cool. I don't know how I would work that with mood reading, but I mean, I could try to figure it out. So I'm gonna figure that out, but I do want to continue my reader unhaul project because I have a lot of books and my shelves do not represent my tastes. So I really want to fix that. And honestly, at this point in my reading journey, like I've been kind of slumpy for like years, I feel like to the point where I'm like, do I even really like reading? Like, is reading a hobby that I want to have? But it's my favorite thing to do. So I know that I want to do it. I just think I haven't been finding, like I haven't been picking books that really fulfill my reading needs. What am I trying to say? I don't know. I'm not very eloquent with my words, but I hope you know what I mean. Like, I haven't been picking books that fulfill my wants when I'm reading or whatever. I'm not gonna get too flowery with it, but I haven't been reading books that I love. Like, and that is evidenced in 2023 that you would not know because I didn't make wrap-ups for a third of the year, but I didn't read a whole lot of books that really stuck with me in 2023. I read a lot. I read 83 books in 2023, and that's probably one of my highest numbers that I've ever read, but in terms of books that I remember, like standout books, I feel like I didn't read that many. I read Beartown. I gave that 5 stars. Loved that. The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. That was a nonfiction, and that really struck a chord with me. But I mean, other than that, I gave books 5 stars, but they weren't like really strong 5 stars. I gave a lot of books 3 stars. I even gave some books 2 stars. So I wasn't reading a whole lot of stuff that I was absolutely loving. So I want to change that in 2024. I might try to expand my reading horizons, get out of that kind of like fantasy romance kind of, I don't want to call it rut because those are the genres that I like, but just expand outside of that. So there's a channel here on YouTube. Hi Whitney, you watch my videos, I know, because you comment a lot. Tiberi's Den here on YouTube. She does this thing, she called it Genreathon, where she picked a different genre every month that was a little bit outside of her comfort zone to read from. And maybe I'll try something like that. If she's doing it again, maybe I'll follow along with that. If she's not doing it again, maybe I will just make a concerted effort to pick up books that are not fantasy romance, or romance. Mystery thrillers too, but again, I haven't really read a ton of great ones of those either, so yeah. This is getting really rambly. I'm sorry. I really should have, like, the way that I ramble, I should have a script. Like, I should have at least some points to follow or something, because I can talk about nothing in circles for a long time. Okay, so to summarize what I've talked about so far, I want to get more consistent with my content. I want to upload at least a video a week, like a video a month. So I want to upload a video a week. I want to figure out what kind of content I enjoy making. Like, I love making my TBR game, obviously, but I don't know what other kind of content I like to make. And wrap-ups, I just haven't found the style of wrap-up that works for me yet, so I want to figure that out. I want to diversify my reading to try to read better books, not just more books. And I think that sums up what I've been at so far, right? Where I'm at. Next, I have my reading journal. I do not do a fancy reading journal, but I do have my reading journal. I have my reading goals, which I can go over really quickly with you guys right now. I have 8 of them as of right now. I'm not like a huge goal person. I used to be. I actually used to make quarterly goal videos on this channel, like way back in the day. I think it was like 2019, 2020. I used to make quarterly goal videos, but I'm not good at sticking to goals, which is why I liked quarterly goals, actually. Maybe I should get back into that. That's for another time. But I did write down some goals. So I have 8 reading goals as of right now. Not saying that I'm going to attain them. I might forget about them by next week, who knows, but 1 is to read 52 books. 2 is to participate in Magical Readathon. 2 is to participate in Magical Readathon. 3 is to work on the 100 Book Bucket List Challenge. And in parentheses, I put 24 books down. That would include ones that I've previously read and books that I read this year, so maybe that's attainable. 4 is to organize my Kindle TBR, which I have a spreadsheet and I've been entering all of my owned Kindle books into it, but there are over 400 of them, so it's taking a long time. 5 is to reduce my physical TBR by 15 books. I wanted to make this very attainable. 15 seems attainable for me, considering most of my reading last year was done via audio from the library. So I want to make a more concerted effort to read my physical TBR, but I also know that I'm a slow reader and I tend to listen to mostly audiobooks because I have a long commute to work, so I just have time for audio more so than physical reading. 6 is to read 1 big book per month. For me, a big book is a book over 500 pages. I have quite a few of those. Again, as a fantasy reader, I have quite a few books over 500 pages, so I just want to get them read. 7 is read or unhaul. I have specifically 1 read or unhaul book per month. That goes back to what I was saying about maybe picking just a book at random each month that I'm in the mood for and saying, okay, I'm going to read this or I'm going to get rid of it. I don't know, again, how that is going to work, but I just wanted Read or Unhaul to be on here in some capacity. And then 8 is reduce active series by 5. So I am not someone who has a ton of series going at a time. I did start like 11 or 12 or somewhere between 10 and 15 series last year, but again, we're not gonna But in general, like, I am not the person that's like, I read book one in this series, now I'm committed to reading the entire series. Like, I can read book one in a series, and if it ends in a way that's not like a cliffhanger, I'm not super interested in it. I don't add that series as, ongoing. I just say, okay, I read that book, it was cool, done with it. There are certain series that I have going that I have not picked up in a while. And that's kind of more what I'm talking about. I want to finish 5 series that I'm actually actively interested in. So, series that I've already read a couple books from, but they've just been kind of hanging on. That's what I'm talking about for that one. So, those are my reading goals for 2024 so far. Again, will I do them? Will I forget about them? I don't know. We'll see. The next kind of spread is just, it's a blank page to write the books that I've read. Then the next spread I stole directly from Becca over at Becca Books and Bujo. I will link her in the description as well. It is just like a year at a glance spread where you have a spot for the number of books you read in a month, the format, the ratings, the authors, gender, other stats about the author, if it's a BIPOC author, non-American, LGBTQIA+. And then the next page is like the genre, the age range, and the year published. So again, I stole that directly from her. Hers is prettier than mine, so I will link her in the description. Then I have a monthly stats page for books read, pages read, if it was on my TBR, or like how many TBR books I read, and then my favorite book of the month. Then I have my best book of the year bracket, where I'm just going to pick my favorite book from each month, and then they're going to go head to head until I have my favorite book of the year. What else do I have? I have a challenges section. So I have Goodreads challenge, A to Z challenge, which I've never done before, so that'll be fun. TBR knockout from Completely Melanie. I will, again, link her in the description. Adventures in Eldia from Book Roast. I will link her. I have TBR 0, physical only. I never plan to get my TBR to an actual 0 amount. I am starting the year with 154 physical books on my TBR. And I'm pretty sure one of my goals was to just get that down by 15. So I'm just going to keep track each month of how many I read versus buy, but I don't buy a lot of books, so mostly it'll just be what I read will get subtracted, and we'll see where we are at the end of the year. I have a blank page for just reader unhaul books. Whatever I pick for that will be written there. I have a page for big books and a page for my 100 book bucket list challenge. And that's pretty much it. Channel stats that I guess I do have a page for channel stats. I decided to keep track of that this year. I'm not like crazy about channel stats, but I figure it might be fun to keep track of. And then I have my January page for my TBR. So that is it for the reading journal. It's more in depth than it was last year. I started this in May, and for the most part, I used to just keep track of like what I read, and then I would do just like wrap up type pages, little, the book that I read, the star rating, and a little blurb about what I thought of it. So this is a little bit more detailed this year. I'm excited to try that out. But yeah, is that it? Do I have anything else to talk about? I think that's it. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with my channel. I guess my question for you is like, what kind of videos do you enjoy watching? Again, I like making my TBR video. I haven't found a way of wrapping up that works for me yet. And then everything in between, like I don't haul a lot of books, like I said a couple minutes ago. Like I'm not a huge book buyer because I'm trying to get through my physical TBR. But I do like filming vlogs. I'm not great at editing them. If you knew the amount of vlogs that I have filmed and that just got lost in the ether because I never edited them, like it's a disgrace, honestly. But if you do like watching vlogs, definitely let me know. I want to do some challenge videos, so let me know what kind of challenge videos you like watching. Basically, just let me know what you want to see, because I'm open and I'm also not super creative sometimes. So I need a little bit of help. But I guess that's it for this little update video, channel update. If you were watching any of the like little series videos that I started last year or in the past in general, I'm sorry. They're out the window just because they weren't working for me, clearly, or I would have continued on with them. I am doing a completely fresh start, a complete reset of my channel this year, and hopefully I can keep up with it, because I do enjoy making videos. I enjoy talking about the books that I'm reading, but I just haven't found a way of editing and uploading, basically, that works for me yet. So we're gonna see if I can do better this year. I hope so. I hope that you will stick with me to figure it out with me along the way. And yeah, definitely give me some suggestions if you have any, if there's anything that you really want to see from me. Definitely let me know. And yeah, I guess that's it. I need to go edit my TBR video. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.